in the mind of parents especially, it sounds like my kid will go to school. If they enjoy doing something, a teacher will notice and beef up what you're saying. The teacher will beef up that side of them. But actually, that idea is not as simple or as unproblematic as we think. Even, let me see. Because first of all, I mean, if you hear, and now I'm going to pull apart what you're saying, both of you, what that evoked for her, the signifier, the signified, is different in both your cases. I don't know if you've noticed. I went to my passion and it worked. You see, that's what she remembers. Yeah. But you remember, my son, he's in school, he's good at this, and the teachers are not really being very keen on it. So that's what was happening with the Kenyan public. When people hear nurturing potentials, they hear their experience. And of course, the ministry official is not going to clarify what he means. So what I was trying to tell Kenyans is, what you're hearing is not what you're being told. CBC is actually going to push people into different clusters, and you're put there. In fact, the ministry had said by percentages. So they had said 60% must do TVET, 15, I think the arts, or is it 10? Then they had science, 20. I can't remember the percentages. But there's no choice. There's no potential anything. It's that you go where the ministry says you go. If they say, hey, your schools don't have labs and you can't do science, too bad. That's not your talent. Which is now, when you hear my response, that's what I was saying. That's what they're saying. They're not telling us that we are going to do what we enjoy. They're telling us that should you ever miss the opportunity to do the arts or to do sciences, it's your talent. And when you even now invoke God with unique abilities, I mean, think of it. Why would we take people to school if everybody has unique abilities? See, then they just stay at home. Why bring them to a school where they are going to learn the same thing with others? So you see, the message, the signifiers which are being sent out to Kenyans are not the signified that you're hearing, and are not the signified that the ministry is talking about. Imagine you're all talking about different things. And so, in fact, at one point I was saying in one of those media sessions, I was saying, this is crazy. How is it that educators who are supposed to be specific about what they mean are so unspecific, and they are refusing to clarify what they are saying? So that is one problem. It's that we are talking about different things. When we hear nurturing potential, as we are thinking different things, we are thinking, oh, my passion, oh, my child, and the ministry is saying something else. Then the other problem with that nurturing potential, the signified, what we are hearing is, you know, that idea of that if we do something well, that's where the teacher should encourage us more. I'm asking, is that really the case, that we only do things we are good at, that we only learn the things we are good at, that if I am bad at literature, I should just forget it and go away? But this has become a truth, a truism in Kenya. We believe it, but it's not true, because it's the same as saying, if I don't like sukuma wiki, I should not eat it. If I prefer KFC chicken, that's what I should eat because that's what I like. Because if we let our kids do only what they like, they will not become well-rounded, and they will not understand the complexity of life. So actually, for us who are teachers, when we teach subjects, we are supposed to teach, which was a very complex thing that most people didn't get what I was saying. We are supposed to teach subjects to the best of our ability, regardless of how kids do in it. Because all knowledge is important knowledge. So even if Because even if you decide you're going to be a musician, see, you will have to know something about accounting when you're an adult and making money, so that you know that your manager is not conning you. You will still have to come back to those maths. I was also saying the same thing about physics. If you're a musician, you will have to know how to deal with mics. You'll have to understand sound waves, recording, all that. So you can't say, because I like music and I'm doing badly in physics, let me forget physics and let the teacher not bother because I am not good at it. Sometimes somebody might not be good at it because they were having a bad day, or it clicks later on. You know, a teacher is supposed to be patient enough to teach, no matter how a child will be doing in the subject. As long as they're in your class, you teach the best you can. You make the effort to make them understand. That's what a teacher does. But what CBC is saying is, give one cut, whoever falls at the bottom, you throw them out. That's not a human way to teach. And I'll just give an example. When I was in Form 1, is it Form 1? Form 1 and Form 1, I was terrible at maths, terrible. But when we went to Form 2, we had a teacher, and I will always remember her name. She was called Mrs. Maina. You know, one day she was teaching us about matrices. And let me tell you, I would not advise anyone to do what I did. Those days I was manga. What I asked her in class was, why are we learning these things? I was the typical Kenyan. What's the relevance? That's what I asked her. And she didn't even get annoyed. I didn't even know it was a bad question until now. But she didn't get annoyed. She told me, this is why we do matrices. She talked about data collection, data analysis, why data is important in life. Then she told us, you know, even government people make decisions using data. She explained to us all that, because I was a kid discouraged because I was not getting my matrices right. Do you know, my maths improved from that time? And I remember even the other students we were with, they started saying, yeah, I think I'll do maths as a career. You know, people were excited about the potential of mathematics. And when I got to Form 4, I actually got a distinction in mathematics. I did very, very well, better than some of my art subjects. So it just took a teacher to say, actually think of it this way. If you think of it this way, maybe maths might not be so hard. So sometimes kids may not be initially good at something, but they get it later on. Those are the teachers we want. But what the system is saying is, if your kid is not good day one, I give up. But imagine if your kid is not good in 5 subjects. Those are 5 teachers giving up on them. And what does that do to the self-esteem of the child? But this nurturing potential, the way the government is explaining it, that's what's going to happen to kids. What is already happening, which is that these days kids are being separated according to how they perform, and the good students are getting chicken for supper. They are learning in a different class. They are going out. I don't know. I mean, I hear schools are doing some very unethical things like that. So that's nurturing potential. I want you might not understand everything I'm saying, but I want you to sit on it and think about it, and think, when I hear it, what am I hearing? And when other people hear it, what are they hearing? And what is the government actually saying?